If you currently work from home, you may be considering becoming a digital nomad, at least temporarily, and continuing to work remotely while outside of your home country. There are many benefits to doing this, such as beautiful weather and even drastically lower living costs. However, when it comes to figuring out which visa you need to legally do so, many questions arise. And while there's no easy answer, in today's video I'll be diving into digital nomad visas, specifically for Vietnam, and hopefully help in guiding you towards making the decision for yourself. A visa is an endorsed document that allows foreigners to enter into a country for a specified period of time. Most foreigners will need to apply and be approved for some sort of visa if they intend to enter Vietnam. There are many exemptions, and the visa options are going to vary based on your specific situation, your nationality, and your time frame. So please don't take anything that I say in this video at face value. This is just a guide to help you along in doing your own research. I remember being very confused on my first visit to Vietnam as to whether I needed a tourist visa or a business visa based on my specific situation. A tourist visa is for tourism purposes only and not intended for anyone that wants to be working while they're staying in Vietnam. A business visa, as the name suggests, is issued to those who enter and remain in Vietnam for a maximum of 12 months for the purposes of working with Vietnamese enterprises or conducting business activities such as meetings or signing contracts. It's important to note that a business visa for Vietnam is also referred to as a DN visa. This does not stand for digital nomad. That would just make this way too easy. Neither of these visas fit what a remote worker or digital nomad is doing in another country. So what do you go for? The tourist visa or the business visa? Let's look at your specific situation. Let's say you're an employee that works from home for an employer that may be inside or outside of your home country. An example of this would be a Canadian that is a remote worker for the US company Google. All of the work is done online, and they have no reason to be in Canada or in the US or anywhere else in the world. Another option is you are an independent contractor or a business owner, and all of your services are delivered online irrespective of your location. You could be a combination of the two of these, a remote employee, also with your own side business or freelance work. You could be earning some income through social media or creating YouTube videos, or most commonly, teaching English online. In all of these situations, the work that you do is done online through the internet, irrespective of where you are in the world. It does not matter if you are working from Vietnam or if you're working from Canada, you're able to deliver the same result to your clients or to your employer. You will not be meeting up with Vietnamese business owners during your time in Vietnam or signing business contracts or selling to local Vietnamese people in person. You may actually have international clients online, some of which may or may not be Vietnamese. But again, you would not need to be in Vietnam to offer the product or service to them. As you can see, there's no easy answer on which visa to get, which is why so many experienced and new digital nomads find themselves questioning, which visa do I get? There historically has not been a visa in Vietnam or in any country that's going to cater specifically to the digital nomad lifestyle. There hasn't needed to be because this is such a new way of living and working. This is where things get tricky and why it becomes such a common question as to what visa do I get if I intend to be working remotely from the country. You're not there strictly for tourism purposes, but you're also not working in the country the way this business visa implies that you are. Even well-known structured programs that facilitate remote workers to work from different locations around the world online for their home employer, like Remote Year or Wi-Fi Tribe, will not give advice on which visa their participants should have. I actually very seriously looked into applying for some of these programs several years ago before I began just doing what I do and traveling independently. When I reached out to these programs to ask questions about the visa specifically, I remember them not being able to give me any concrete advice. What they would do is tell me what other participants on the program have done in the past, but that ultimately the decision on what visa to get is up to me and they cannot give me any legal advice. As I mentioned, there historically has not been a visa that is going to specifically fit the needs of a digital nomad. This is changing. Governments around the world are beginning to acknowledge the benefits of having a remote worker that is earning foreign income staying long-term in their country. They are literally bringing in foreign money the same way that a tourist would, spending in that country without taking jobs away from the local people. And also, due to recent events, there are many more remote workers around the world at this time than there were even 1 year ago. As tourism recovers, this is a pretty attractive and large segment to be targeting. In response, a handful of countries have come out with new visa options catering to the needs of a remote worker. An example would be the Barbados Welcome Stamp, which allows an individual and potentially their family to live in Barbados while continuing to work remotely for up to 1 year. Mexico, Bermuda, Estonia, and many other countries have come out with a similar offer. Getting one of these visas would be a surefire way to be compliant with the law, but there are other things to consider, such as some of them having high costs and also having minimum income requirements. This may or may not be an issue. But let's circle back to the original question. What visa do you get for Vietnam as a remote worker, since Vietnam at the time of filming this video in mid-February 2021 does not have one of these remote work visas? It is my understanding that you are not legally allowed to perform any work as a foreigner on a tourist visa in Vietnam. This visa is for tourism purposes only. And whether you are helping or hurting the economy, my understanding is that it is not legal to perform any work while you're in Vietnam, including your online work, if you are on a tourist visa. Given this information, it may be wise to go through the application process and attempt to get a business visa if you intend to work remotely for a foreign employer or for yourself during your stay in Vietnam. That being said, I don't think I have ever known or heard of a digital nomad that is in Vietnam on a business visa, or anywhere in the world. Da Nang, the city that I often go to in Vietnam, has a large community of remote workers. There are public events and there are plenty of co-working spaces to support them in continuing to work online. So it's not a secret that people are doing this. But I do know of co-working spaces in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is arguably the biggest digital nomad hotspot in the world, have actually been raided by police that are coming in and checking if the work that you're doing or whatever you're doing on your laptop is compliant with the visa that you have. In summary, the decision is yours on if you'd like to take a chance and apply for a business visa and be as within the law as you possibly can given the situation. Or you could follow along with what 99% of digital nomads are doing and enter the country on a tourist visa. It may be helpful to dive into things like what questions I'm specifically asked as I enter Vietnam, how you could work out staying in Vietnam for a longer period of time, or even entering the country on a one-way ticket if you don't know your future travel plans, and general things to know about the application, like the fact that you have to apply in advance for a visa on arrival. I didn't know that the first time. And then the second time, I made a pretty big mistake that ended up costing me hundreds of dollars. So let me know in the comments if you want me to dive into some tips and tricks on applying for the Vietnam tourist visa, and I can make a future video. Don't forget to give this video a like if you found it in any way helpful. Thanks for watching, and I also hope you'll subscribe so I can see you back here for more videos soon. Bye!